Would you do a prayer?
Uongola kautta heitä, nata ja usta, mutta se pelotko kasilla. No kelewana ja sichado oyate oskatma ukele kasilla. Dagni shicha tueni akip khonchich ne lotko kasilla. Taya oskate onje uha che pelotko kasilla. No kele apetu kele tona homenuina jo kele kasilla. Uokena we chozani moste unichela pelotko kasilla. Nalea Petekelena, Ushia Hoalo, O Mitakrasi.
Hey, hi, hey, hey, hi, hey, 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 hi, hey, hey, hello, hey, 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 hi, hey, hi, hey, hey, hello. Lord, Konkashela yapi, Hawa Pahakena, O he Hankish Nilena Shikelo, O Flatewa, Oya Deki Haya, Wichi Chaki Tachale Chamuel Oyo.
Also, we looked the other day, I think we were at Communities, I believe. Daryl's here, I'd like to get them out of the way first. And then there's a lady waiting in the hallway that needs to address the council, so I'd like to do them two things first.
As
Bill?
about 12:15, I gotta step away and go up to SWA office for part of agreements hearing.
Okay.
On the board, so.
Ray?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave at noon for a funeral this afternoon.
Okay. Micah?
You also let me.
Okay. Anyone else need to be excused?
There's the ones that called in.
This Cher called in, Lisa called in, Steve. Ray was. Okay, we need a motion to excuse those people. Eileen? Martha? Question, Ray? All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
0.
Okay. Council, can we start off and get the superintendent on and out of the way? I know he wants to hang around with us to get out of that musty old office over there, but Russell?
Kakahi, you got some too much time to pitch you up a little. I have a issue that I wanted to discuss with tribal council, but somewhere before noon, I'd like to address the council.
Can you remind me, Russell?
Throw me in there or something, I'll remind you.
Remind me.
I think we'll probably lose quorum at noon, so.
Okay. Can we bring on Mr. Hart, the superintendent? He sat here patiently yesterday with us. We'll give him the floor today.
Hey, what happened to your feet?
Oh, yeah.
That goes on that.
Good morning, council and administration.
Good morning.
For let me present the BIA's monthly report. We've been having bi-weekly meetings with TLE. Every 2 weeks, they come into the BIA and we just discuss any issues that are coming up, any processes that need to be addressed between the BIA and the TLE. It's TLE's administration that comes in for the meeting, and their leasing department, BIA's leasing department, and realty, and myself, and the range manager. Those meetings are going really good. We're getting a lot of work done and clearing up some processes that need to be worked out between the BIA and TLE. So I think those are going really good. We started, I got in contact with Solo, with Paula, and we're going to start those same meetings with Solo. I believe they had a meeting yesterday, and then from yesterday, we'll be having those every 2 weeks. Any questions on the meetings with Solo? Next week, I'll be going to Sioux City for superintendent's meeting, and if the council needs me to address anything with the superintendent, at the superintendent's meeting with the RD, Bart Stevens, I believe, is going to be there for the first day. So if you guys have anything, just let me know and I'll present it to over at the superintendent's meeting. Positions, we have several positions that are out on the streets and have been re-advertised several times. We're just not getting anybody put in for these positions. One of them is the fire management officer. I believe we advertised that 5 or 6 times already for 21 days each time. Same thing with the fire operations specialist, the fire program, and the field specialist. So we're lacking the leadership at the fire program right now. We had an acting FMO from the regional office, but he since moved on and took another job with another region. So right now we're without that leadership at the fire program. So I go there quite often just to see how things are going and if they need anything. Right now we've been having a real slow fire season this year, which is good. Once we get all these other positions hired, I think the fire program should be in pretty good shape. We just need to start applying. I also thought about doing something a little different, going to the communities and trying to recruit some of the local tribal members. I know the process for USA Jobs is not the easiest and simplest process to go through, but I'm going to offer our assistance for folks to come in and help them through the whole process of creating the account with USA Jobs and helping them with their resumes. Make sure they have all the correct forms to upload into the system. We'll be working on that with the fire program. We had a realty assistant that just closed on July 13th, and we're waiting for a search for that position. Hopefully we'll get one here real soon, and realty should be fully staffed once that position is filled. Social services burial, in July we had 7 assistant applications taken, 6 were approved. Currently we got 47,876 available until the end of the fiscal year, which I think we'll have enough, more than enough to meet our requirements for burial assistance. Facilities, the contractor just finished up the roofing project at Rosebud, our mission, and there's a few questions that they have to complete before the contract is fully closed out. So that should be ongoing for the rest of the month, and we should be opening doors here very soon once that punch list is completed, which I am projecting around. Our door should be open after Labor Day to the public. Like I said, Realty, they've been working with TLA and Solo to get all their home sites completed and processed. Acquisition and disposal section, they received 5 applications to sell to the Rosebud tribe to the TLA. And 5 applications of all 39 tract interests. 2 gift deed conveyance transactions were completed. They involved in 2 tracts of land. Right away, continue working with Golden West on some repairs to some individuals. The staff met with a company that is looking at the 30 tower sites in Clark County. Probate, they're currently researching 24 cases that were closed and have been identified with the trust and assets or income of the Great Plains Regional Summary Report. Range, they're continue meeting with Land and Natural Committee every 2 weeks, giving the report. They have a typical mapping meeting on July 20th. They're also assisting the tribe and the contractor with the ARMP meeting with Paula's program solo. So that's coming up. So we're hoping we'll have a new ARMP approved plan here soon. Also working with horse compliance with PLE and solo. And I think that's about it, unless the council has any questions or administrators have any questions.
Russell.
Yeah, you're meeting in Sioux City. Do you know anything about, where we've been hearing that Congress hasn't, after October 1, is there going to be a continuing resolution or what? Have you heard anything?
I have not heard anything on the NECR or what Congress is going to do yet, but I can ask that question to the RD on next week when I go to the meeting and report back to you guys.
You have one of your higher ups in DC coming to this meeting or decision makers or no?
Yeah, we have Bart Stevens, who's the supervisor of all the regional directors. Well, yeah, I can ask that question, and I'm sure that question is going to come up anyway during the meeting too. So I can get back to you guys on the response I get from the higher ups.
Right. So whatever you guys come up with, it's going to affect us as a tribe, so we need to know ASAP. Sure. Thank you.
Ray, is that just area-wide superintendents, or are they gonna come from
No, it's just on Great Plains region.
just a great?
Yeah, just the Great Plains region.
How often do they meet? Is it
I think they meet every 3 months or so.
routine?
Yeah. And this will be my first one attending as the deputy or the superintendent.
Any questions for Ray, superintendent? Anna?
Yeah, good morning, thank you for coming and waiting for us. But my question was on the probate process. Are the hearings being held here, or are we still sending our membership here to Rapid City, or what was the other?
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, I think they've been doing them on Zoom and Teams format lately.
Do
But
they go to your office and get on
Yeah.
Zoom, or how's that working?
they haven't been to the agency since COVID.
in there.
Once COVID started, they started doing the Zoom meetings, and that's the format that they've been using lately.
But I mean, the people that are having to go to probate, are they the ones that are going to your guys' office and using your computers and stuff for that, or?
They can, or they can do it from home too. And also they can call in a number just to get like on a conference call.
Okay, so you don't know what our membership is doing then, as far as the probate hearings, huh?
Probably, no, I can find out though from Lindsay.
And then also in your report, you were talking about the leases and that you guys were working with PLE on compliance and stuff, and I might have missed that on what you were saying, but is all that compliance being taken care of as far as the TLE and the Bureau working together on that?
Yeah, we're starting, and then that's the meetings that we started having, you know. We were kind of doing our own things, TLE would do their own things, and we would do our own things. But when we start having these meetings, we start sharing our compliance reports together, or with each other, and we're gonna start working together, doing compliance.
So, how about like the, overgrazing, and so when these cattle come in, is somebody there to meet when these cattle come in, or do you guys just catch it by wind that cattle come in?
We do it both, you know, Sonny is committed to do so many compliance checks a year. But he's trying to get to every range unit this year. And he's been working hard on making sure that his guys are out there doing it. And I'm not sure about TLA.
But I guess as far as cattle coming in, are you guys aware of when cattle comes in?
Yep, they come in and talk with Sonny and do their plans and submit their plans to Sonny, and he signs off on them. Then he sends them to the superintendent for the final.
And that's when the land and everything is checked to make sure that it's not gonna be overgrazed by how much they're bringing in?
Yeah. Because on those plans, I think they're PSA, right? But they're allowed how many cattle that can come into that region, and we sign off on it. And then Sonny will send his guys out to do compliance.
So his guys are seeing that. So how many guys does Sonny have himself?
Sonny has 2.
2?
Well, actually 3. Yeah, 3.
And they go out and they make sure that that's how many cattle that's on the compliance form is what's dropped off.
Correct. They check the brands to make sure that the correct brands are on.
I don't know if it's required, but is there like a record of shots and all of that stuff that's included inside that compliance plan, or is it just a brand that they're looking for?
From what I see, it's just a brand and how many cattle are allowed on that specific region.
So you guys don't have no concerns if outside cattle comes in and it could be infected with something? And
Oh yeah, we do, and I know Sonny's really good at making sure all what's required with outside cattle that are coming in. I rely a lot on like Sonny and all my branch chiefs, because they're the experts in that program, or programs.
okay.
Ray, you guys just do random checks though, huh?
Yeah,
So nobody knows that you're coming next week or tomorrow to check the herd.
And then, you know, when we get a call or a complaint, then we send them on.
Check that out. Oh, Micah.
And then with that too, Ray, like if it's cattle from outside of the state, before they cross those state lines, they have to cattle checked before they can even cross state lines. What do they call it? That check that they have to do before they bring the cattle across state lines.
I can't remember the term, but yeah, I mean, corn, not
What that form is.
there's a term for it.
Yeah.
Anything else for, Russell?
Yeah, and normally, when the Bureau comes in and we have land and natural, we ask a lot of questions that get answered. I never had the opportunity to come here and give a full report on every land and natural meeting because our body here is so caught up into doing resolutions, and then instead of our council people coming to our committee meeting, we ask all the questions here. So we do get a lot of feedback, and we do have some compliance officers within our tribe, and you know, we want to make sure that the number of cattle that are coming in is correct, because in the past we don't check that, so we don't know how many if there's added cattle or anything. But I think we're kind of getting a handle on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's a good thing.
Mhm.
And we do have our compliance people doing range compliances, and that's where the majority of the cattle come into, is the range unit. And when we have that system set in place with TLE, farm and pasture leases, that's the responsibility of TLE, and I'm sure they're working directly with you now.
Yeah. And the realty program, with Dean's program.
Right.
Anything else for Ray? Jordan?
Thank you. I just had a couple questions. So the first one was, so the fire trails that we have here, you guys have to survey those every so often, or how
Yep.
does that work?
Correct. TIPO has a list that they need to survey for us now, so we can't get to all the fire trails right now just because they're not surveyed.
So just waiting on those?
Yeah, just waiting on the surveys.
So once they're done, then you don't have to resurvey them after, or how long?
Kind of true, I can find out.
Okay.
Let you know.
And then I just had a follow-up question, when, Tim was here, is that his
Mhm.
name? I asked about the fire protection agreement with BFDs.
Yep.
Is that coming along, or, I know that we.
Yeah, he was supposed to check on it, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I'll call the regional FMO and ask what the status of those.
Yeah, because I think they were just waiting for an agreement to get signed, so if we could get that done, I think it's been over 2 years since we've gotten it.
Yeah. I know they said to use the old FPA, but some of the equipment that's on the old FPAs are, the VFPs don't have that equipment.
Right.
I know some of the FPAs just had like a Type 6 engine, they didn't put a specific, vehicle in there, and those that, you know, if they have new vehicles, they could use that stuff. And then some VFPs put specific vehicles in there. They can't use their, like, say they got a new engine, they won't be able to use that
Okay,
for that.
yeah, if you could just follow up and.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
More questions for Ray? Ray, I want to thank you for coming over, and thank you for setting all day yesterday.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm gonna be here, so I know there was a motion for me to be here through all the council meetings, so.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know. I'm going down to have to behave.
It might be efficient.
Right, I have just a follow-up question, really for Ray.
Oh,
So last, like, probably about a year year ago, I believe Dean, I don't know if he was acting or if he just came, to fill in for the superintendent, but we asked him to meet with TLE, TIPO, and Solo to, coordinate a meeting with all those entities to come up with a simpler process for homicides. And we've never followed up with him either, and he's never brought any information to council, so we could follow up.
Sure, I'll ask them to get an update from them and touch base on
Okay.
Wait for one more. Russell and maybe. Russell. I don't know what I mean, right?
Fremont?
Motion to approve this board.
Yeah, we'll get back in here.
We're just waiting for 2 more council.
So how about those Cowboys? Kidding. Hey, that's Russell. Russell's all the dear man.
Okay.
Fremont, are you gonna move to accept the superintendent's report? Need a second? Martha, question by Pam, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting.
1.
Thank you, Ray. The other Ray, do you have something to bring on you?
Yeah, I guess after the guest, and then,
Oh, they left.
Oh, they left,
Yeah.
okay. Nicole, do you have that, resolution for the ICBG grant? I don't know, it would be under economic development. It was in our folder, but, it was the wrong one that we forwarded up from the committee level.
Okay, give it to Linda.
Yeah. So we can just move on to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see my papers that were sitting here this morning?
There was nothing there. Which one is this?
There's just a whole stack of them that I found. Nothing over me.
I think they had a meeting in here last night.
Yeah, I think. We were at a meeting last night, so it's all here summer. Gotta clear up this personnel too, so.
Yeah.
I got 2 resolutions that need to be passed by for health board
Sure.
before we lose quorum, because I don't know if we'll get quorum the 30th and 31st, but
I hope so. I wanna feed you guys on the 31st.
Oh, really?
Show up and eat.
I know, right?
If you don't wanna do anything else, show up and eat.
I got it.
And then
Okay.
I know, Russell had some stuff that he wanted to.
Yeah. Let's take care of Ray's stuff, then we'll get yours and then Russell.
Really,
Yes,
what about that family that?
look at that. Yeah.
I went out for twice, check on the football.
I have a few, budget
Okay.
related here.
Let's take care of Ray's.
I'll wait.
Okay.
Motion for emergency legislation.
Okay, we have a motion to bring it on as emergency legislation. We have a motion and a second. Any question?
Question.
And all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Opposed?
0,
Not voting?
1.
To approve, Ray.
What's the number?
270.
270, motion to approve 2023 270.
I have a quick question before you read it in. Sure. I have a quick.
We have to get it on the
Oh,
floor.
okay.
Ray, you gonna move for its approval?
Oh, okay, I'll second with the question.
Okay, go ahead.
The question I have, Chairman, is, Madam Secretary, did we already pass, ICDGB resolution authorizing SRD to put in for funding? Because if we did, wouldn't this just be an amendment to that resolution, including St. Francis and this, Office of Emergency Management? We did? So would it, I mean, so I guess what I'm asking is, would this just be an amendment to, instead of giving it a whole new number, because we already passed one and you guys are,
I see what you're saying.
and then
Yeah,
if it's for the new funding, if it's for new funding cycle, then it should be inside their new request, right? And then it would come when they bring their new ICDGB resolution.
I think this is the resolution where we authorize them to apply for it and then re-choose which project, which are listed here.
No, I mean, because the ICDGB one that they bring to us, it has the listing of all the programs are, prioritized. And then, so right now, that one's already passed. That was for right now, up until October 1. So when October 1 comes, Ken will come with another resolution and he'll have.
Well, I think you're talking about
and then he'll.
CPAS.
No, we do it with ICDGB too. We do it with it too. Then you would include these in for the upcoming funding cycle.
On March 8th, there was one pass with, SRD and SWA.
That was for the, what was that one for? Members for like the storm stuff.
For FEMA.
Yeah.
Because like you're approving this with at the end of the funding cycle right now. So that's why I'm saying, wouldn't it be better just to bring this on with his new request of funding for the upcoming fiscal year?
I know this is a grant application, so it's not even guaranteed yet, because it has a deadline of September 5th. That's why they've been trying to bring it on so they can apply for it.
The ones I'm finding that are coming up are, with SWA. And then the one with St. Francis on the 15th.
We just need to select the project.
Yeah, so basically we're just selecting the project based off of that public hearing.
What's that?
Yeah,
So,
okay.
alright, I'll start at the fourth whereas the Department of Housing and Urban Development has issued a grant notice for a community development block grant program, ICDBG, for Indian tribes and Alaska Native villages, CFPA number 14.862, with an award ceiling of $2 million and a closing date for applications of September 5th, 2023. And whereas up to 25% leverage resources are recommended but not required by the federal agency to receive additional points. For this reason, the Rosebud Sioux Tribe hereby commits to ensuring the amount of resources leveraged for the purpose of completing the selected project. And whereas the purpose of the ICDBG program is the development of viable Indian and Alaska Native communities, including the creation of decent housing, suitable living environments, and economic opportunities primarily for persons with low and moderate incomes as defined in 24 CFR 1003.4. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe hereby certifies that the citizen participation requirements identified in 24 CFR 1003.604A and notice PIH 2021-22 have been met for the ICDBG project that is being proposed. The Rosebud Sioux Tribe Sicangu Resource Development Office held a public hearing on July 27, 2023 at the Tribal Administration Building in Rosebud, South Dakota, in order to meet the tribal citizen participation requirements. And whereas the 2023 ICDBG public hearing yielded 2 community facility projects as identified below. St. Francis Community Building Renovation Expansion Project and the RST Office of Emergency Management, Emergency Operations Center. Whereas now one of the proposed projects are shovel ready and will require Sicangu Resource Development to secure a contract to produce necessary cost estimates and preliminary construction designs to ensure the project selected possesses all required documents for submission to HUD, and such expenses shall be reimbursed to Sicangu Resource Development with grant funds if awarded. And whereas the RST Sicangu Resource Development Office will work to develop an application that will meet required thresholds set forth by HUD for the specific project type. And whereas the Rosebud Sioux Tribe will maintain fiduciary responsibility and 20% of administrative costs with grant funds to offer direct administrative oversight to ensure the project is complete in compliance with HUD requirements. And therefore be it resolved, the Rosebud Sioux Tribal Council hereby authorizes Sicangu Resource Development to develop and submit a proposal to the Department of Housing and Urban Development Indian Community Development Grant for, and that's where those 2 projects come in. And I think, I know both projects weren't shovel ready, but we've been working with the architect and ours will be ready by then. So I'd like to amend it to put St. Francis Community Project in there, if everyone's okay with it. A community facility project in the amount of $2 million with the Rosebud Sioux Tribe leveraging the required 25% grant match of $500,000 to be submitted by September 5th, 2023. And be it further resolved that the Tribal Council hereby authorizes the Tribal Chairman or official designee to sign all pertinent applications, contracts, and documents thereof. And attached on the back of this resolution are the 2 projects that are listed in this resolution that was presented. And then yesterday, we passed the St. Francis Community Resolution asking for Tribal Council support to for the application with ICDBG. But then this particular resolution just gives SRD the permission to submit the grant application and which project we have chosen.
Ray, when they say shovel ready, what did you guys have to do to get shovel ready?
We have to get blueprints and a design. So it's just kind of a preliminary design. And both of them weren't, but we've been working with this individual who got us blueprints for our project. And so I guess we'll be considered shovel ready by the time that this project is submitted.
Always heard of shovel ready. I should have known as long as
I didn't know either until it was explained to me.
Now I know.
But it's just for the grant application. And
Any discussion, any questions? Eileen?
Good morning. I just had a question that yesterday or the other day when we were talking about this was you were saying did all council know about it, about that they can put it in for this? Yeah.
I don't know, did you know about it? Because I guess when they had a public hearing, we we discussed it, I asked questions, and it's for community buildings. I think, Grass Mountain got one, maybe Upper Cumming, I don't know, but we just went through the hearing and there was only 2 people that showed up, which was us and the emergency office management. So I guess as a council rep, I asked questions to see if it.
So every community needs what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to get at is, did we know that we could have did the same thing? I didn't know that. And if something went out, I missed it. And just trying to be fair, did one council rep know about it, or did we all know about it so we could have jumped on it and did it too?
Yeah, I agree, and I didn't know about it, but I asked questions, and if I don't know anything, I ask questions, so. Kind of all up to us as individual reps, whether we know stuff or not.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, was it available to every one of us to do the same thing?
Available to everyone as long as
It is
it's a
available, but
community
it-
project based on.
Yeah, the information, or that you can do it, is it available to all of us so that we could have did it too? You know, you guys jumped on it, you did what you're supposed to be able to even apply for it. And it's a lot to apply for these grants to even get your foot in the door like this. So, you know, that's a good thing in your part, and I support that. But I'm just saying, did we all have that chance of doing it too? Did we know about it? Did we, so then, let's even say that you got funded on it, and hey, that's really good on your community, but other council reps that will be coming in may question, why didn't you, put in for it, and I'll say, well, I didn't know about it. So then, they might have an issue with you guys being able to put in for it. So that's where I'm getting at is, you know, this equal type of thing. So I'm just wondering, I'm not trying to down what you're doing, but did we have that chance? Did we have that information that we missed and overlooked it, and now we weren't able to?
I know SRD had put out notices for that public hearing, like a month before, and I guess our community just took the initiative to go and present a project that we're interested in.
And like I said, it's a lot to even just to get your foot in the door where you're at now. So that's, you know, that's all good, but I wanted to know that because they're gonna, you know, ask somebody here, why did you put it in too? So that's where I'm at with that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, and I believe every community is afforded the opportunity to submit to this, yeah. So for future, I'll reference just, yeah.
Well, I commend you for your legwork, you know, and, it's needed, and it's needed everywhere. And one of the things, I'm not referring to the St. Patrick's, but our emergency, proposal for emergency, management office. You know, one of the things, and I heard, I didn't do any follow, but when they were gonna submit a proposal to renovate that log building up there. And it was shot down by this body, that's what they were telling me. But, you know, that building can be renovated. And it can actually, it's declared a historical building because it's over 50 years old. But to me, if we're gonna do something which would benefit us too here on the Rosebud, if we can utilize, it's not shovel ready, but in a way it is, it's a building. And if we can renovate that and house some of our programs there, that would really be helpful. And still preserving that old building, you know, for future. It was one of our first buildings that housed tribal government. It was built for, it was an arts and crafts place. But, you know, maybe that's something that emergency operations center can be housed there. So that's something that I throw out there too. You know, some of you are still gonna be here for the next year and maybe that's something you can divert some of that money to renovate that building. And once it's renovated, you can, if you renovate it correctly, it can be, you can actually get more money out of it from historical, under the Department of Interior, money, you know, to maintain that building. There's things, those are possibilities, so I would, you know, I would seriously think about that. And, you know, and I'll tell you, years ago, I went out, I wanted to put in a paved road out to Hedog community because I represented Hedog community. I hustled and bustled and I raised some money, a little over $200,000, just to do that pavement. But when it came here, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. They all wanted it, you know? And $200,000 at that time would have taken care of that community. But when everybody jumped on it, well, I want the same thing, I want, you know, it fell wayside, you know, and I really, you know, if we have an opportunity, let's do it, let's build on it. And I commend you for doing all your legwork for your St. Francis, but when you're gonna do an expansion, what kind of expansion, it doesn't really say with renovating the building, but
Yeah, so,
expansion, you're gonna add on to it, I'm assuming.
yeah. And on the back of the resolution, we kind of have a problem statement here of why we're asking for it. And a lot of it is just the lack of space, especially like our community is kind of deemed, I guess like the emergency shelter place when it comes to the southern end of the reservation. And this last time with the winter storm, the fire, everything, I mean, we were just kind of lacking space when it came to emergency services. So that's kind of what's all written back here. So what the expansion would be is, I think there's half gymnasium, there's offices for other tribal programs and emergency, the emergency office, there's a courtyard, and just more space for emergency personnel like showers and bathrooms and meeting space.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen, you know, $2 million. Normally it used to be around 800,000.
Yeah,
It's increasing it, so you gotta jump on that.
And I know last year we intended to apply for this as well, but we missed the public hearing, so the Red Log building got submitted and didn't get funding. So we were kind of on it this year that we wanted to attend this public hearing and submit a project.
Just food for thought. Thank you.
Any more questions on the resolution? We have a motion on the floor. Question by Micah. Do we have a quorum in here?
Yeah.
All in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
1.
No, did you get mine?
Thank you.
11, 0, 1.
Ray, we beat the deadline, right?
Yes,
Here we go.
on track.
That's what we do best, get under the deadline, day before. Our treasurer, sorry for some. Russell, did you want to take care of your business, and then we'll hear from the treasurer?
Yeah.
I have a form for Jim.
Okay.
Amen.
Well,
Just take a 5 real quick, I need to use the
yeah,
restroom.
let's,
Sure. All means.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I didn't
Should we all go outside?
I gotta,
Please come back.
I gotta define my speech a little bit.
You've been practicing it, Russell?
Of course.
We'll hear from Russell.
Yeah, I guess, I'm leaving the council. According to my records, I've been here over 24 years. And it's been a long time, long journey for me, and a good journey. I learned a lot. When I first came in here, I was 27 years old, and we had a 33-member council at that time. This place was packed, with our council representatives, and I had to go through a learning process. And you had to learn quick to be able to make decisions for the people. And over the years, we had elders here. As a matter of fact, back then there was mostly Lakota speakers, which was good for us because when you're speaking a language and trying to translate it into English, sometimes it doesn't match that Lakota thought. And so I learned, and I'm very fortunate that I had my first language was Lakota, and I learned the English. And I had to learn the English very quick. I went to school. They taught me how to say really instead of and that. We still use that term today. But anyway, I'm not asking for anything beyond, I had a question, I guess, and that pertains to, I hate to have somebody confront me and wanting their phone back. When we got these phones, I've had the same number. I've had people tell me that I answer my phone when they call me. I have people that call me, and there's still people out there who speak the language, and somehow over the years, they felt that comfort with me to be able to tell me something or needing help in some arena or somehow. But I learned the system here. So sometimes we help people without even coming here. I know the resources. I know what we can do for our people. And so it comes back down to this phone. Last administration, the outgoing council all kept their phone. And it's not going to be on the tribe's dime, but that was my first question. What are we going to do? This body usually makes that determination. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go out and get me a phone and transfer all my information off this and turn it in. So I guess I'm asking you, the council, what are you going to do? Are we going to follow that process? And I question you guys. Give me some direction. I hear that you guys are giving away $100 a pop, so I might go run and buy me a phone.
Keep it.
If I have to. Well, anyway, that's kind of my thing. I don't, I heard there was a talk of severance and monies, and that's all. I don't need that. But my question is laptop. As a matter of fact, we gave the laptops, the last administration coming in, and I think they had to pay $1 per unit. So is that going to happen this year? If not, tell me. I'm like I said, I've been here a long time, and I said I probably won't even get a pat on the back when I leave here. I just don't want somebody confronting me and taking it away from you. So, that's my spill for the day. And I don't know if we're gonna meet again. You know, a lot of you are leaving at noon, and some of you are leaving at noon, and we'll probably break quorum. But the other thing that I wanted to do is make a motion to recess until Wednesday of next week, so we can finish up some. I got a couple of resolutions we're working on. I think Ideal Community is looking for some resources, money, to host their Labor Day powwow. So I got Eric redrafting a resolution for them. And so those things are coming up real quick. And if we can meet next week, we can take care of some of those
I
business.
think, Russell, we're supposed to meet Wednesday and Thursday, aren't we, next week?
And then 2 days that following week.
So maybe we can just recess until then, so we can finish up on some of these
Sure.
resolutions.
Okay. Can we hear from the treasurer before we recess?
Yeah, but I want some answer. I want an answer. I'm asking you guys, what can we do in terms of my issue?
Yes, go ahead.
I think they've been doing that. I mean, I remember when my dad was on council, and that was in 2011 or something. Even back then, they got to keep their phones, and that's where they keep the numbers and everything, but it was just like you said, it wasn't on the tribe's dime, so I don't see why. Because every incoming new rep gets a new tribal phone, so I don't see it. So,
I don't see any problem with it. It seems, for 34 years of service, it seems awful. What am I looking for, the word? Awful cheap.
Been
34 years of service.
24 years of service, but forced to leave.
I'll make the motion
Okay,
for outgoing council reps to be allowed to keep their phone and their numbers, as long as they get on their own plan and.
okay.
Second.
Second by Ray.
Is that,
I had a question.
Or.
Yeah.
Eileen, your thought?
Yeah, with the option.
Yeah.
Can that be added with, computers, their laptops? Because before they were allowed to buy them for $1 for their laptops. Mine don't work. Mine don't work, but some that do, I'm speaking for. So, and they bought it for $1 because it's used and abused throughout, so it's not really worth nothing for a new council rep to be able to utilize that.
I got mine in 12 years, so I can't count.
With the option of they can turn it back, turn the property back if they choose to.
Okay, we have a motion,
are
second.
you including the computers?
Need a question? Bill Marshall, all in favor?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting.
1. 701.
There you
Thank
go.
you, council, appreciate that.
Will you come back on the 31st and eat with me?
Of course,
All right.
yeah, I'll be there. I got some land and natural stuff that I need to.
Okay, we'll try to do that on Wednesday then. Steve?
Chairman,
Yes.
I think you had me after Russell. Remember I told you I have 2 health board resolutions that need to be
Thanks
passed?
for reminding me. Thank you.
Is he gonna wait until the 30th?
Next week. Yeah.
Next week? Okay. So I can go ahead and go?
Go ahead.
I don't know which one, if you have these ones. I think they are up there, the one on the trailers and the, master.
Are we gonna hear from the treasurer also?
Yeah. Almost 12.
one she gave you that case, she was here.
Alright, we got it back here.
Okay, because these ones are the ones I want. The trailer houses and the. This is copied and.
Well, she's getting her paperwork together already. While Brenda's going over, my said one thing was, there was that motion made for that fuel assistance for the fair, and there needs to be, it needs to be amended. There needs to be a funding source, and which one you say is possible.
Yeah, we need funding source where that money can come.
So, what was it,
We have available, let the treasurer know
This deal,
the amount in the
I can sign
We
it,
have what's available there, guys.
so I guess,
Or you can have the treasurer.
I guess, and then you made the motion, so I don't know.
$362,221 in the LACTF fund. That's that,
I'll amend my motion to include the funding source of, taking, how many did you get called in on, Tina?
Oh, I have to add it up, I think it's about $5,000 worth.
Okay, and then yours is 3,
Three,
so that's
roughly, yeah, I just
8.
gotta refine the.
Then Lisa probably has one. All right, so we'll just amend it to, use 15,000 from the LATC funds, for the east area.
Your motion, again?
Yeah, that motion
Is there a
that
second? An amendment, right?
Yep, it's an amendment to the original motion.
Need a second. Daniil, Eileen, you have a thought?
So, when this came about, it's a good idea. It's a good thing for these, families to be able to make it from so far away to get to our fair. And in the past, that has never been done, and it was brought up this time. So, I was for it, I voted for it. But since then, it got out there on Facebook, and I'm getting a lot of calls, texts, and if I go somewhere. And they want $100, they want their applications too, and their locals are somewhere a little further out. But they're not able to get it because these are named because the distance. And so, because of that, they're really upset about it, and it's becoming really a big issue, I guess. And so, because of that, and if I vote for it again, they're going to say, why did you vote for it? Because where's ours? That's the thing that we talk about. It's so far away that, it helps them to get here. But in the past, they never had that, and maybe they didn't get here. And maybe they did, we don't know. But, it's a good thing. So with mine, I'm not able to vote for it because I'm getting too much questions on my part of why I would allow that if it's not for everyone. So, I did it because of the distance. They're really far, especially Knox campus, 2 hours, and that's my understanding. But also, the membership here wants something too. So it's a hard one, it's really a hard one to bring to. So, that's my thing.
Martha, did you have a thought?
Good morning, administration colleagues. We have a small community, and we're always forgotten. And I voted for it the first time because of the distance. But this time around, I'm not going to vote for it. We have our community meeting tonight. And although our community is small, it's hard. And we want our $100 per family too, because we have a lot of families out there that don't have no working income. So we want our share of the $100 too. We want it to be added on. And I'm sure some communities want their $100 too. So with that, I'm not going to vote for this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Pam had motion on the floor. Is there a second? And question, Ray?
Yeah, no, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so if, thank you. So if these LATC funds are being utilized for this motion, would we have to amend that resolution to allow that?
That's a challenge for me.
So that's the amended resolution.
No, are you talking about, yes, we'd have to amend it to include it.
Okay.
That's what the motion.
So maybe we should do the resolution first before passing this motion, right?
Well, how much, if it's under if it's under 10,000, is it under 10,000?
She just said 15,000.
Well, yeah, then we'll have to add it in here. We'll have to add 15 onto that 170.
And then just a quick comment too, I mean, my community feels the same way, and I guess this council, I hope that we consider, if any of us wanna go to, Labor Day in Ideal, or the 4th of July Carnival in Bull Creek, that we, have that same opportunity to get gas money to go.
Jordan.
Thank you. I guess, my community's in the same boat, and I was gonna motion to rescind it because of the unfairness. I understand that they're far out and stuff, and we did it for Youth Day, but, I guess I just wish that your guys' community would have the money aside for it, so that way then we're not having to do it and create that tension that's been coming, so, that's where I stand on it. I'm not supporting it anymore either, because, like that was discussed, our communities would like to go to Labor Day sometimes, and that's your guys' area, so if that's the case, then maybe our communities need to get gas money to go to Labor Day, so.
Okay, you have a motion on the floor with a second, and we're still discussing.
Chairman, I have a comment.
Then Steve.
Well, I guess it's not gonna pass without the not wanting to vote for it. So Chairman, I'll go ahead and rescind my motion, my original motion of not doing it. And, I guess, I'll just end it right there by rescinding my motion, my original motion from yesterday of assisting East area.
From last week.
No, I'm not gonna do no on last, because as it is, that's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I said your motion from last week, you said yesterday.
Oh, yeah, from last week, so 4 of them. That's 4 of them that don't want, I mean, they're not going to, and the others probably will say no too, so.
Okay, so you're withdrawing, Pam? You withdrew?
Yep, I withdrew my motion from last week, I remember.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay,
Good afternoon, Council. A couple communities have requested an advance on their allocations for carnival tickets, but because of what's happening at the casino, we don't have the payment to approve that. I think along with fireworks, there's a lot of discussion about the fair. If you guys want to allocate 1,000 to each community from this fund, that might be beneficial to some of them, but a couple of the communities indicated that they don't have enough funds to purchase enough tickets for all of the youth that they have in their communities. So that's something that has come to finance, to Frida. She handles all of the community allocations, and a couple asked for in advance on their next month's allocations, but due to the cash, we were unable to accommodate that. So it is, it's happening across the board of the community.
Steve, have we done that before, given advance?
Some of them request in advance on their allocation. Frida handles all of those, but like with the fireworks, we give each community a $1,000. But I don't know if anything's ever been done for the communities for Rosebud Fair in the past. Not that I recall while I've been the treasurer, but
Jordan?
I think I just need to second Pam's motion to rescind because it was on the floor without a second.
Oh.
And she had the motion to rescind, right? Yeah. For your motion on Tuesday. So I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Further talk? Need a question? Ray? All in favor?
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Opposed?
1.
Mine's not.
2.
Not voting?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Motion carried. Okay, are we done with that?
Yeah, the other thing is, when you guys did the motion for the cash awards for the employees, it stated in there, right, if they had it in the budget, they could get it. So there is, every time when we only get it twice a year. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 programs that never have funding because of the grant employees, or there's not enough in their budget for it. So I don't know if you guys just want to make your motion as you made it, or if you want to amend it to have us find money for those that don't have money. And I have the list in here of the ones that don't. And when we gave our first cash award back in December, these are the employees that
Council, on this report that's being handed out, the amounts are going to be higher because when this was paid, we paid 1,000 or 1,500? 1,500 for bonuses at the time, so it will be less than the 22.
Yeah, it'll be the last column there. Because they're doing 500. That's what we would need. And then it increases because we have to include the payroll tax. And then if you decide to include these employees, we'd have to amend your motion. And then we'd also have to, and if you decided to do it out of LATC funds, we'd have to change this motion, this resolution to include that amount, which we could just add there too. But that's the employees that aren't going to be getting it.
And they're calling every day wondering if their bonus will be approved. I've just been responding that we're awaiting approval from this body.
Pam and then Eileen?
Yeah, Chairman, so this amount here, this is, giving everyone the 500.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Because the motion doesn't say, it
Yeah,
says
that-
up to 500.
Yeah, that's what they've been giving them, the program, right? It doesn't have to be that, you guys can change it to 250. I just went with what everybody's been given.
But don't we have a manual that says how much is to be given?
No.
No, it doesn't say that in the manual?
No.
Nothing more.
Not the new one.
So we actually need this 22.5 to come out of LATC funds, right?
Yeah, because the net amount is 12,500, but you gotta figure in payroll tax. So I put another 10 in there, so that came out to 22,500.
Okay, and then,
Then we have to add that onto this resolution.
and then how many, I guess, for the treasurer, how many communities are short of helping their kids with tickets?
I heard from 3.
You only heard from 3? So if we added another 1,000 for all 20 communities, is it 21 because of Sioux Village having their own budget and stuff, or how does it work?
Both Tennille's community and Jordan's community have two different places.
21,000?
22, what about yours, Tingel?
Yeah.
You split it out, or do you, so when you got they got 1,000, did each one get 1,000, or did they each get 500?
We usually have to split everything.
So it'd be 22,000.
So it'll still just be 22,000 then, right? So that's 44,500.
Add it on to that 170,584.
Can you get added on it?
So on this LATC one, which amount is this gonna
The
change?
170, because last time this was amended was August 3rd, and that was for 362,383. Now we're amending it today, and I have the 170, if you look at the last page, that included 3 programs that have a shortfall in the general budget. And this is salaries and payroll, it's salaries and fringe, except for the land office has a few utilities on there.
Okay, so then can we use this to do those balance cash awards and the 1,000 for community included in
Yes,
that?
what I'll do if you guys add them on, then I'll just amend the back page to add those 2 figures on.
Just a suggestion too, I know I brought it up Tuesday, but I'm okay with the 1,000 for every community, but I'd like to see Antelope, St. Francis, Rosebud, and Parmalee get 2,500 based on our population.
Eileen?
So, first of all, I want the secretary's office to, listen to the recording on that motion, because I didn't say up to, it was 500. I want everyone to get the same amount at 500, and so it should have not said up to. I didn't see that motion at all to even question it from before, but as she reads it, it says up to. I didn't say up to. It's not fair for some of these employees to not get that 500 when everyone else is getting 500. And now I made that motion to allow the bonuses, to give the bonuses. So, I want to reconsider and amend and include these ones that need it. So I'll make that motion. But I also want it to go back and to see, I didn't say up to, because now we're going to help everyone with this with 500, so they're all going to get it. But maybe some came in at 250, 300. That's not fair, I always look at fairness, and that's what it should be. So if you can, Secretary, if you can look at that and put that memo out again as whatever, and so that they'll know that it was straight pipe. But I'll make that motion to include these and to come out of that funding there, funding source there.
Okay, Eileen's putting a motion on the floor. Is there a second to it? Vanessa, and your thought?
Yeah, Chairman, that was where I was at, was my motion was, and we were gonna amend the amount on this because we were going to include that 500 for each of these programs of that shortfall, and the increase of those four big communities that wanted 25. So I added it up, I came up with $231,084.53. cents. Is that what you come up with, Brenda? So the 4 communities adding on that 1,500, because we went with 1,000. We were talking 1,000, but Ray was asking to increase because of the amount of population.
So that's Averill, Rosebud, St. Francis, and Harmony.
So then I just added another 6,000 to that 44.5, which came up to 231.84.53 cents.
So, since I moved, I'll make that, to add it into what she's saying. What she's saying.
You're amending your motion then,
Yes,
okay?
include this amount that she's, bringing forth.
Brenda, are there enough advance tickets?
Oh, we did it right
I'm so right.
For winner, ideal north and south.
Question.
See, I went with 22 here, so I made this. So I added that to this right here. Then he wanted the 1,500 added.
15 or 2,500.
Well, I mean, it's gonna total 2,500, but see, that's 6,000 for the 4 communities. So I think it's 84.53.
6,000.
That's the 15 times 4 communities. So that's why we're saying up to that. This up here is already included 1,000.
And then what about the other communities?
No, because he's only doing 4, because see, that's why I said, you had 22,500.
This is for the cash.
Yeah.
I'm talking about communities.
I know. So 20 communities is 20,000. That's 4,500. And then 44,500, but then they
We don't
wanted
know, I
this
guess it depends on us.
That's where
What's your name, besides Myrna?
If not, then we need to get some more orders.
Got some orders.
No, all communities are getting 1,000 except for the 4 communities. The northern.
They came in for all the.
6,000 total.
Right, you just messed me up.
Well, no, we did get 6,000 total.
Yeah, because they'll get 2,500.
Oh, wow.
4 big communities will get 2,500 apiece.
10,000 goes to.
So,
Four got 25,000.
I know that, Brenda, but what I'm saying is, so, okay, let's go back up here. You needed 22,500 for the cash award. And then we started with 1,000 for all communities. That took it up to adding 20,000 or 22,000 to this, so then it made this. Okay, so then I did this, we came to that. And then he wanted 1,500 for the 4 big communities, which is 6,000 more on top of this. Where that came in. You're so confused.
It's leaving me too. That's all that one out.
There's no such
So they added it all.
But okay, you can change the paperwork,
Yep,
but on here, I'll do.
And then this should be.
Okay, so then me, I'll change this amount.
172.
So Madam Secretary, on that motion that she's trying to amend, can you go back and, what exactly does the motion read?
On August 3rd, 2023, motion by Eileen Shaw to lift the moratorium on bonuses and approve 500 for all employees all employee bonus for the programs that have it in their budget and this to include council and officers, second by Tia, question by Lisa. Vote was 11-0-0.
Okay, so.
I mean, the motion now that's on the floor has been seconded by Jordan. You have an amendment?
It was second by Vanessa.
Vanessa, second.
Oh, Vanessa.
The needed question.
Don't need a question.
Are we done discussing?
You got that amount in there?
Yeah, I think, part of that, again, there's gonna be this misunderstanding in the general public when we just say we're gonna give bonuses, $500 bonuses to all our employees, but I think you need to add some language in there that each employee is entitled to 2 bonuses in the course of the year, and this is part of that, and I think we need to insert that language in there because, you know.
In the manual.
Huh?
It's in the manual.
It's in the manual, but I think you need to
Yeah.
include that in your motion because you're gonna cause
Ruckus.
you know, they're gonna say, how come we didn't get $500? Just like the $100 you guys approved, you know, I mean, that created a lot of concern among our people. This one here, it's employees that are entitled to, according to the manual, 2 bonuses every year, and I think you need to include that language in there.
And I think when you say manual, I think you should say ordinance. Because an ordinance is already a created law. And that's what the personnel manual is.
Okay, the 2 movers, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Other amendment?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
shall we vote?
Yes. Maybe get a
Are you
question.
ready?
We need a question.
Are you really ready to vote?
Really ready without my question. We need a question.
Need a question.
Need a question. Russell. All in favor of the motion, raise your hand, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With the community, is that 8?
The bonuses, right?
Just the bonuses.
Just these 6
Through the
programs.
ordinance, so it's in
So this is for
personnel
just the 5 programs that did not get
Not the
bonuses.
communities yet.
Not the community.
Just the program.
Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting.
0.
Motion carried. Pam,
Yes, Chairman, I need to amend resolution 2023-41. So I need a motion to reconsider and amend 2023-41.
Is this one gonna be with the community budget on there?
Chill out.
You guys are confusing me, because you guys
Well, she was just talking about the bonuses. So, on here that whereas, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 8th whereas. On there, that amount of $170,584.53 is going to change to $231,084.53.
Brenda?
So just to clarify, on that back sheet here that I have with the amendment, I'll amend that because of the shortfall at Spotted Tail Crisis Children's Center and PD office and the land office. So that is their shortfall to take them to the end of FY23 after the general budget. So I also include the communities on there and then the cash awards. So that will
in that
match what's in the front.
in that language where it says as provided in the proposed budget attached, that's where she's talking about she's going to include the programs that are short of their bonus, the programs that are listed on the back in the amount of $170,584.53. And then she's going to include the communities of the amounts that council was suggesting, so that's where it all comes up to the $231,084.53. And then it says leaving an unbudgeted balance of, right there, it's gonna be $131,299.47. Are you guys all still with me? Okay. So then on the therefore be it resolved, that one there, you're just gonna change on the second page, that 170,000 will change to 231,053. And then the unbudgeted balance will change to $131,299.47.
Does anybody have any questions regarding the programs? The shortfall? Just to let you know that these programs did come to budget and finance.
Yep. So a lot of this was a discussion on budget and finance on the shortfall of the programs. The cash award, that one there was the only question that we actually had for the council floor because we didn't know at the time which programs were gonna be short needing their cash award.
And if any of you guys would like to look at the shortfalls, I have the breakdown at my office.
Did I get a second on my amendment to that resolution? I did. Okay, now I just need a question?
Need a question?
Eileen, your question? All in favor?
The amendments, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Opposed?
0.
Not voting?
0.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, council.
I don't know.
She's coming in with the tickets and stuff.
If you want.
Has left.
Thank you.
Feedback everyone's getting on that $100.
Council, I wanted to discuss a couple of things. There was a motion rescinded requiring me to repay some travel. I'm going to ask that if I'm going to be singled out like that, then all of the other council reps who have had that luxury be required to pay that travel back also, because I'm not the only one. And I don't think that it's fair that this body is holding me to a different standard. And I wasn't here when this motion was made, and I request that the other reps who didn't have to pay that travel back are held to that same standard, and that they're required to pay travel back for money that they took for trips that they didn't go on. Also, I'd like to discuss the council donations. I've compiled a report on all of the elected who have received money from the council donations as per a motion from the Antelope community rep. And I have that for council's review. Those are the two things that I would also like to discuss today.
Russell and Eileen?
So do you have the listing, of, you're talking about standards, do you want other council representatives to be included in that motion? Do you have the list?
So the secretary's office is researching it,
Okay,
but I'm not the only one.
okay, so when will we be able to address it? You know, today we had some of our council people that are asking to be excused, and we'll probably lose quorum, but can that wait until Wednesday and Thursday or Friday, whatever the meetings are? Are you trying to address it today? Because I like to see a listing. I don't think we're gonna sit here and wait for the secretary to do the research. That should have been done already.
The motion was made on Friday of last week.
Oh, okay, well, that's,
So, they are researching it. If you guys would like to address this information at the next council meeting, if we have one, we can do that. But
On
I'm
the
just,
30th, Steve,
on the 30th,
we could do it.
I am just, addressing the council on these two topics.
okay.
Okay, so we'll take a look at it on the 30th. Eileen, did you have a question? Then Pam?
So, sometimes I get up and I say something and it becomes a long discussion, and it goes all over the room. So.
Goes out all over the public.
Yeah, so I'll save mine for, when we're going to discuss this, because it pertains to that, and, it's just gonna make it long, and I know some of them have to leave.
Okay, I think we need to, break here and let these council people get to the funeral they wish to attend. But Pam, you had a thought or a question or something?
Yeah. I guess, with the treasure stuff, I'll deal with it on the, what'd you say? We're gonna have the 30th? Are we not having council on the 23rd?
I think Scott told me just the 29th and 30th.
So
It's on the board here for the,
That's the regular.
the 23rd is actually our casino one that's listed under the Constitution, so I think that's our next council meeting.
23rd?
Yeah.
Okay. It's on the board, I guess it's gotta be so. For today, can we get a recess and let these people go to the funeral they wish to attend? Yeah.
So, there's only 2,800 strips of tickets left back there with the motions that we just made. We're probably gonna need to allow her to purchase more advanced carnival tickets for our communities, otherwise they're gonna have to just be going to the fair and buying the tickets, which are more expensive, correct?
didn't we just approve
Yeah, but what I'm saying
that
is
she
that.
can go ahead and
she's
utilize that
gonna
money
afford
to purchase?
Do you need a
tickets.
motion for that,
Yeah,
or we
that's
just
available.
purchase more?
So, I guess with that, can we just have the chairmans or maybe even finance department contact chairmans and see how much they're short? And to utilize that 1,000 that was given to the small ones and the 25 that was given to the large, for you to get an estimate of how many more tickets you need to get back in finance?
Great, I guess, then also too, if, cause I know my community bought carnival tickets already, so they just get reimbursed back to the communities that already.
Yeah.
You have to, amend the contract, the tribe side with that contract. Right now, we already went over with, we ordered 2,100 more sheets. So we're amending his contract, and if they're trying to get some more down, so we have to amend it.
We, so when we do that, how long is that contract? Because I know that.
A year.
So how come nothing was brought here to the council approving Mac shows?
You guys did that?
It was right.
When?
It's approved for mine, we got the whole contract in here.
In this fiscal year?
Yeah, and I think, at the time too, we wanted,
I think it's exactly.
the guy to come and answer
Yeah.
questions, there were some concerns too, which never happened, but yeah, that contract did.
Well, you will.
That was like the springtime.
Yeah.
So does it do anything to the contract or?
Yeah, because in the contract, it states how many advance tickets the tribe's given.
And are they okay when we go
Well,
over?
they were okay with that 2,800, but you gotta remember, I think that's all she had left, because they say advance versus the regular tickets, and they print out only so many tickets. That might be the problem. because the tickets are different.
Yeah.
If you look at them, they're different.
You
And
better-
when they go to print, they only print out so many advance according to the contract. But they always print out a little bit more, because they always ask for a little bit more. So maybe next year we need to increase that advance. I think it was 7,000 advance carnival tickets. We originally got and we sold out. And I think she might have said that all they had left was 2,800, but I could double check with her.
Well, I think if I'm the carnival guy and I know that there's gonna be thousands of dollars worth of tickets, I'd be producing tickets, man, because that's money.
Well, he does, but he's producing advance and the regular ones. They're different.
Well,
And he prefers the regular ones, right?
Yeah, because it costs more, of course.
So,
But I could check with them to see if they have any more advance tickets, so, but I thought she told me that that's all they had left.
so can I make a motion to have, Mount Carnival advance us another,
Whatever amount that we did.
yeah, whatever more that we think we're going to need. I hate to say whatever more, cause we gave all this
So what
money
they gave us right now, Kyle, is they gave us 28 sheets, and each sheet has 10 individual tickets on it. That's 28,000 individual tickets.
we have a fair board in place, let them deal with that stuff, that's their responsibility.
I did bring it up to them myself.
Okay, well, have them deal with it, that's their responsibility.
And they're the ones that told me to get additional.
Are we moving on?
I am.
My community chair would like the floor just to address some, issues that, to support our community and what they're going through right now, just to talk about it really quick before you guys leave.
Okay.
Anyway, before we do that, I had a motion, you gotta withdraw your motion for the.
Oh, yeah, I'll withdraw.
I'll just amend it.
Okay. And we'll, energy share.
Good afternoon, everybody. I was down supporting Ideal Community last night with their protest. They reported that they sent out letters asking the tribal officials and tribal administration for some support. I didn't see anybody down there. They didn't get no response from the tribe. But I've been down there. I went down there and supported them last night. Went to their community meeting. Tennille was there. I just want to kind of address council here because I believe it's an important issue with sex trafficking with our children. You know, we sit there and council reps campaign on the elders and the youth. And here this is dealing with our native youth. Where's everybody at down there to support them? I was kind of disappointed last night. You know, these are kids, our native children being exploited down there and there's nobody down there. The youngest one was 9 reported. There's big names that's going to be coming out, they said. So I just wanted to bring that to the tribal council attention, out to the media out there, because they sure need some support over there in Ideal Community. And I told them that I was going to come and try to bring it to the floor here so we could try to reach out for support, because we all need to work together. I don't care what's going on with elections and stuff, you know, these are our kids. We all need to stand together and support them. Thank you, council and administration.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to me.
Well, I guess I wish I knew about it. I didn't know about it.
Thank you.
I didn't see nothing on the news or anything.
So we're gonna recess.
And I didn't campaign on the youth or the elders, me, myself.
Okay, thank you
When
for
I
that
came into my
update.
seat, I did not campaign on them.
We're gonna recess till the 23rd.
It is.